present day, I'm assigned to report the part 5 of the book, Organization and Development and Change by Thomas Cummings and Christopher Worley. Part 5 is entitled Human Resource Management Interventions. Topics are the following: Chapter 7 to 19, Performance Management, Developing Talent, and Managing Workforce Diversity and Wellness. So under each chapters are subtopics, which are all human resource interventions or change program. Under Chapter 17, Performance Management, it's a human resource management intervention concerned with managing individual and group performance. It involves goal setting, performance appraisal, and reward system that align member work behavior with business strategy, employee involvement, and workplace technology. Next slide is a performance management model. It includes practices and methods of goal setting, performance appraisal, and reward system. These practices jointly influence the performance of individuals and work groups. Let's go to goal setting under performance management. It describes interaction between managers and employees in jointly defining member work behavior and outcomes. Goal setting can clarify the duties and responsibilities associated with a particular job or work group. When applied to jobs, goal setting can focus on individual goals and can reinforce individual contributions and work outcomes. When applied to work groups, it can be directed at group objectives and can reinforce members' joint actions and overall group outcomes. Popular and classic approach to goal setting is management by objective or MBO. Certain characteristics for goal setting: they work equally well with individual and group settings. There are two major processes that affect positive outcomes: establishing challenging goals and clarification of goal measurement. Management by objective attempts to align personal goals with business strategy through increased communication and shared perceptions between managers and subordinates. MBO programs may go beyond manager and subordinate roles to address individuals, work groups, and to reconcile conflicts. The MBO application stages are as follows. We involve the whole work group, goals set jointly by managers and subordinates, action plans are established, criteria and yardsticks are established, work progress and contract reviewed and adjusted periodically, and records of meeting are maintained. Performance appraisal, on the other hand, involves collecting and disseminating performance data to improve work performance. It is a primary human resource management intervention to providing performance feedback to individuals and work groups. It is also a systematic process of jointly assessing work-related achievements, strengths, and weaknesses, and also facilitate career counseling, provide information about the strength and diversity of human resources in the company, and link employee performance with rewards. Next slide is a performance appraisal elements. Elements includes purpose, appraiser, the role of appraisee, measurement, and timing. And there are two different approaches. It could be the traditional approach and the high involvement approach. Under traditional, the purpose is organizational, legal, and fragmented. The appraiser is the supervisor and the managers. And the role of appraisee is to have a passive recipient. while the measurement could be subjective, concerned with validity. Timing could be periodic, fixed, administratively driven. On high involvement approaches, it's developed more on developmental, integrative. The appraiser is the appraisee, co-workers, and others. So unlike in the traditional, there are only two. In this high involvement approach, the appraisee is also rating herself or himself. The role of appraisee is active participant. Measurement is subjective and objective and subjective. Timing could be dynamic, timely, employee, or work-driven. Performance appraisal application stages are as follows. You select first the appropriate stakeholders, diagnose the current situation, establish the system's purposes and objectives, design the performance appraisal system based on the given situation, the purpose and objectives, design the performance appraisal system, experiment with implementation, and evaluate and monitor system. Characteristic of effective appraisal system: it should be timely, accurate, accepted by the users, understood, focused on critical points, control points, and economically feasible. Now let's go to the reward system, which is linked to the performance appraisal. Reward system are concerned with eliciting and reinforcing desired behavior and work outcomes through compensation and other forms of recognition. They can support goal setting and feedback systems by acknowledging the kinds of behavior required to implement a particular work design or support a business strategy. Organizational rewards are powerful incentives for improving employee and workplace performance. Do you agree? Rewards can also produce high levels of employee satisfaction. And the next slide shows the design features of a reward system. It could be person job based or performance based. The extent to which rewards are based on the person, the job, or the outcomes of the work. Could be assigned as market position, the relationship between what an organization pays and what other organizations pay. Or internal equity, the extent to which people doing similar work within the organization are rewarded the same. Then the hierarchy, the extent to which people in higher positions get more and varied rewards. The higher the position you have, the higher pay compared to those in the next level. Then the design feature can be centralization, the extent to which reward system, design, decisions, and administration are standardized. Could be a rewards mix, the extent to which different types of rewards are available and offered to the people. Security, the extent to which work is guaranteed, or security of tenure. Then seniority, the extent to which rewards are based on length of service. Like in our case, we usually give recognition to those who have been in the institution for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and 20 years. Of course, there are certain characteristics of an effective reward system. Should be available, timely, performance contingency, durability, equity, and visibility means sometimes like us, we are given we have a program wherein we honor or recognize our service employees, and that's part of the reward system. 4 types of rewards: skills and knowledge-based system, performance-based systems, gain sharing, promotion system, and reward system process issues. Let's go now to developing talents. It is also a human resource management intervention concerned at managing talents. That is how, by coaching interventions, attempt to improve individuals' ability to set and meet goals, lead change, improve interpersonal relations, handle conflict, or address style issues. It focuses on the skills, knowledge, and capabilities of an organization member, usually a manager or executive, but in the case of mentoring can also apply to individuals. Another intervention under developing talent is career planning and development. It addresses different professional needs and concerns as members progress through their work lives. Then, management and leadership is a developmental process or a human resource management intervention that attempts to transfer knowledge and skills to many individuals. This includes in-house training programs, external education opportunities, action learning projects, and other activities. Now let's go to coaching and mentoring. Under this, the goals are as follows: assist the execution of transition, address a performance problem, and develop new behavioral skills with leadership development. The application stages are as follows: establish the principle of the relationship, conduct an assessment, coach and client with the results, develop and implement an action plan, and assess the result. Let's go to career planning and development intervention. Both provide the appropriate resources, tools, and processes necessary to help organization members plan and attain their career objectives. So there's career plan for each employee or individual. Career planning is concerned with individuals choosing job, occupations, and organization at each stage of their career. Then career development, on the other hand, involves helping employees attain career objectives. So there are 4 career stages. First is the establishment stage. Here is 21 to 26. Advancement stages, ages 26 to 40. Maintenance stage, ages 40 to 60. And the withdrawal stage, ages 40 and 60 and above. So if you were in those ages, you know which stage are you based on your age. In my case, I'm in the maintenance stage, going to the withdrawal stage. Now, the application stages under the career planning intervention is to establish a career planning mechanism by communicating regarding career opportunities and resources within organization. So sometimes we can see in the organization the different jobs that are available that probably we can apply for better pay, etc., for promotion. So we have to communicate that through advertisements internally first, bulletin boards, websites, etc. Then workshops to assess member interests, abilities, and job situations, and to formulate career plans. Of course, we offer workshops in our school, especially in our educational system. Career counseling by managers or human resource development personnel. Our human resource department, including the guidance, can also provide career counseling. And of course, our career management office providing counseling for our students. Then another step is to self-development materials directed towards identifying life and career issues. So there are some materials that are provided. Assessment programs that test vocational interests, aptitudes and abilities relevant to career goals. So we have psychometricians to give assessments on this matter. Now, certain career stages have career planning issues, like for instance, when you reach if you are between ages 21 and 26, which is the establishment stage, the following are the issues. What are the alternative occupations, organizations, and jobs that are available? What are my interests and capabilities? How do I get the work accomplished? Am I performing as expected? Am I developing the necessary skills for advancement? So these are the questions that the employee may ask to probably know where is she going, or what she wanted to be. Then the advancement stage from ages 26 to 40. The issues are the following. Am I advancing as expected? How can I advance more effectively? What long-term options are available? What do I get more exposure? How do I get more exposure and visibility? How do I develop more effective peer relationships? And how do I better integrate career choices with my personal life? Then the maintenance stages from ages 40 to 60. How do I help others become established and advanced? Should I reassess myself and my career? Should I redirect my actions? So these are probably the questions that I should ask myself by now. Now going to withdrawal from ages 60 and above, which will also be my question. What are my issues? What are my interests outside of work? What post-retirement work options are available to me? How can I be financially secure, and how can I continue to help others? So these are the career development interventions. First is the realistic job review, the purpose of which is to provide the members with an accurate expectations of work requirements, and the intended outcome is to reduce turnover, reduce training costs, and increase commitment. Now for assessment centers, the purpose of which is to select and develop members for managerial and technical jobs, increase person job field, and identify high potential candidates. So probably if we need to promote our personnel based on the available jobs, then assessment centers should be available. We also have job rotation and challenging assignments to provide members with interesting work assignments leading to career objectives. So the purpose of which, or the outcome, is to reduce turnover, build organizational knowledge, increase job satisfaction, and maintain member motivation. So I agree with this, because sometimes when you've been working there for 5 years, 10 years, or sometimes burn out, and you need to do another work. Of course, we know that for a fact that employees now should be multitasking. Now, consultative role is another intervention, which the purpose of which is to help members feel productive rates later in their careers and provide less experienced members with exposure to key knowledge and skill. The intended outcome is to increase problem-solving capacity, job satisfaction, and member motivation. So you are given several career development interventions. Continue, we have developmental training to provide education and training opportunities that help members achieve career plans. And the intended outcome is to increase organizational capacity. In our institution, we have scholarships for those who would like to pursue their master's or doctorate. the government subsidizes the tuition fee, the other fees when you enroll in a school. That's certain requirements have to be met before you qualify. And then, of course, we also have a course wherein our employees can enroll for free so that they can finish or complete their studies. At the same time, the government or the local government also provides civil service review for free with complete meal, so that you will be able to pass the civil service eligibility, since we are in the government service. Another intervention is the performance management, which I just reported a while ago, to provide members with knowledge about their career progress and work effectiveness. Of course, since the performance is being monitored, then the progress and work effectiveness is measured. The intended outcome is to increase productivity, increase job satisfaction, and monitor human resource development. The last one is the work-life balance. That is to help members balance work and personal goals. It will improve quality of life, increase productivity and morale, increase organizational commitment, and decrease absenteeism and decrease turnover. Later on, we'll be able to know the different workforce diversities where these problems arise. Now, lastly, for this intervention is the management and leadership intervention, one of the most popular organizational development intervention aimed at developing talent and increasing employee retention. It builds individual skills, socializes leaders, incorporates values, and prepare executives for strategic leadership roles. So this is more of a leadership intervention, management and leadership interventions, like the directors, the heads, the chief, division chief, etc. Focuses on developing the skills and knowledge the organization believes will best equip them for the career they prefer. Now, the application stages include perform a needs assessment, determines the competencies believed to characterize effective leaders in the organization, develop the objectives and design of the training, deliver the training, and evaluate the training. Now, for this next chapter, or the last chapter, chapter 19 is managing workforce diversity and wellness. Managing workforce diversity is defined as planning and implementing organizational systems and practices to manage people so that the potential advantages of diversity differences is maximized while its potential disadvantages are minimized. It focuses on maximizing the ability of all employees to contribute to the organizational goals, and it can create and maintain a positive work environment. Now, shown here is a framework for managing diversity. So in this circle, we see external pressures for and against diversity, and we also see internal pressures for and against diversity within the management perspectives and priorities, strategic responses, and implementation. So given that, the following are the work diversity dimensions and the corresponding preventions. Therefore, for work differences, we have differences in age, gender, disability, culture and values, sexual orientation. Now for age, what are the trends? The median age is up. Distribution of ages is changing. what are the implications and needs? Healthcare, mobility, and security. So, those who are already senior citizens from 60 and above, especially in our case, we have employees working at the age of 75. Usually they are the top management. So we have buildings without the elevator working sometimes, so that's kind of problem. The mobility, of course, the healthcare, because we have to take care of them. And then the interventions may be wellness program, job design, career planning and development, and reward system. For gender, of course, especially at this time, percentage of women increasing, rural income families, and other gender sensitivities like the LGBTs, etc. Oh, sorry. That's what I meant here is the women outnumber men. So, percentage of women are increasing. Of course, we have the needs, child care, maternity, paternity leave, and single parents. The interventions are job design, fringe benefit rewards. For the next workforce difference is the disability. The number of people with disabilities entering the workforce is also increasing. So, needs are job challenge, job skills, physical space, respect, and dignity. Of course, these people are for equal opportunity. They have to be accepted to work also, because they also have their needs. The interventions are performance management, job design, career planning, and development. So we have to look into these interventions for those disabled employees we have. Culture and values, rising proportion of immigrant and minority group workers or shift in rewards. Of course, this is not so applicable in our case because we really do not employ immigrants from the other countries coming to our place. Minority, I don't think we also have a minority group worker. The needs are flexible organizational practice policies, autonomy, and affirmation and respect. The interventions are career planning and development, employee involvement, and reward system. In this culture and values, probably in our case, would be the trends, would be politics. So, for the intervention, probably career planning and development, employee involvement, I agree, and reward system. Sexual orientation, this is what I'm trying to talk about. The number of single-sex households or liberal attitudes towards sexual orientation. So, we have the LGBTs and so on and so forth. Of course, the implication and needs are discrimination, and the intervention should be for employment opportunities and range benefits. So this is the framework for stress management, diagnosis, and intervention. So stress we are not in the stress management after we talk about diversities. So in this case, there are workplace stressors, which is presented in the first column. Example of which are the physical environment, could be light, noise, temperature, and pollution. And then individual could be the role conflict and ambiguity, work overload, lack of control and responsibility. This is sometimes the problem of individuals, especially those who are handling people. That's why we have to be very careful as supervisors or heads, department heads. Then we have the group, peer, subordinate, or boss relationship. It's also related with the individual. Organizational, poor structural design, politics, then poor HR policies. The policies should probably be revisited. They might not be no more applicable to the current time. Now, of all the stressors, the individual could perceive these stressors, leaving them to be stressed. Therefore, the consequences are on the third column: subsequent anxiety, apathy, behavioral alcoholism, drug abuse, accident proneness, cognitive, poor concentration, mental blocks, burnout. Physiological could be increased blood pressure and heart rate. Organizational, lower productivity, absenteeism, and legal action. For the workplace interventions, this could be done. Role clarification, so if there is role ambiguity, the role should be clarified. So job description should be reviewed with the individual or with the employee. Supportive relationships, you have to support them. Stress inoculation training, so certain trainings in terms of stress management. Health facilities should be present or visible and provided. Employee assistance programs like guidance counseling, mentoring, etc. So at the bottom, the individual differences: cognitive, affective, type A or B, hardiness, social support, negative affectivity, and then the biological or demographic because of age, gender, occupation, and race. In summary, of the 3 chapters presented, the human resource management interventions or change programs that are carried out by the human resource specialist but have become an important part of organization development practice. So this is already a function of the human resource, but of course sometimes these are not undertaken by any organizations for some reason of probably budget, etc. But of course, accordingly, it should be part of the OD practice, an important part. Next is performance management, which is the chapter 1, shows how goal setting, performance appraisal, and rewards are closely linked and difficult to separate in practice, but each element is distinct and has its own dynamics. So public and private has different application in terms of performance management depending on the business strategy. Okay, developing talents is concerned with managing talents either by coaching and mentoring, career planning and development, leadership, and maintaining intervention. So once you're in an organization, it doesn't stop to working. We have to develop the talents of our employees. And lastly, managing workforce diversity is managing people so that potential advantages of diversity is maximized, while potential disadvantages are minimized in order to contribute to the achievement of organizational goals, thereby creating a positive work environment. Now, in application, I'm showing here a memorandum circular from the Civil Service Commission because I work in the government. We, as public servants, are under the control for supervision and administration as a regulatory board. In terms of performance management, according to the memorandum circular, is that it is for the establishment and implementation of agency strategic performance management system. What is it? It is a mechanism that links employee performance with organizational performance to enhance the performance orientation of the compensation system. So you see the link between the performance management and the reward system. It ensures that employee achieves the objectives set by the organization, and the organization, on the other hand, achieve the objectives that it has per its strategic plan. Therefore, all government agencies should be implementing this SPMS. Now, there are certain objectives why the SPMS is implemented: to concretize the linkage of organizational performance with the Philippine Development Plan, Agency Strategic Plan, and Organizational Performance Indicator Framework, or the OPIF. Also, to ensure organizational and individual effectiveness by cascading institutional accountabilities to the various levels of the organization. And lastly, to link performance management with other HR systems. SPMS has basic elements: rules that are aligned to agency mandate and organizational priorities, system that is output or outcomes oriented, a team approach to performance management, forms that are user-friendly and shows alignment of individual and organizational goals, information systems that support monitoring and evaluation, and a communication plan. So, in our case, we follow the mandate of the local government as an institution providing excellent quality education, and then for the output and outcomes oriented, we see to it that we produce students who will be good citizens of the nation. So those are all linked in the mandate of the agency. Okay, so more importantly, the SPMS complements the rule-based results-based performance management system that is implemented by the Office of the President, and that links organizational performance to societal goals. It's also linked to the performance-based incentive system that consists of the productivity enhancement incentive and the performance-based bonus. Okay, so what we do as individuals, department heads, directors, etc. are all linked to the business strategy or the vision mission of the university, and then anchored to the vision and mission of the city, of the GIG. Thank you, and keep safe always. Thank you for listening.